I'm Chief Meteorologist Chikage Windler. Welcome to KEYE TV. We're right here in North Austin, just off Metric Boulevard. If you've never been inside a station, I want to take you on a little tour. Come on and follow me. I have my little security card here so we can get in. All right, so here we are. This is our newsroom, and all of these desks, there are producers and reporters. So our web folks sit right over here. And then when it comes to planning what stories will be the news of the day, there are meetings that are held right here at this conference table, and then they'll decide, what's going to be 5 o'clock, what's going to be at 6 o'clock, what's going to be the story at 10 o'clock. And then another way that our station decides, what's worthy of covering news and what's not is the assignment desk. Come on over here. And if you look right here, there are all these different boxes here, which are basically police scanners where they can listen in and find out, if there's anything going on in Austin or any of the other cities, in which case they would dispatch a reporter to let them know to go and follow that story. And let me show you an edit bay so you can see what that looks like. So putting the stories together every day, this is basically where an editor will sit and they'll ingest video and they'll set up all of the stories and all of the video and the audio, and then that's what will go to air later on in the day. And finally, we're off to see the Weather Center, which is attached to the studio. So I actually spend most of my day not even in the newsroom. I'm over in my own little place right here, the Storm Tracker Center. All right, so here we are inside the studio getting ready for our 5 p.m. newscast. Up at the anchor desk, Judy is getting ready to read her scripts in just a couple of minutes. And then this is our weather Chroma Key Wall. And a lot of people will always ask me, well, how does this work? I'm actually standing in front of a big green screen. You can see if you look in the monitor, that's where I'm pointing to Austin, to Temple, to San Marcos, to Burnett. So basically, I use that as my guide. And also, if you look in this camera right in front of me, you'll be able to see, again, it's like looking into a mirror. The words up on the screen are actually what's called teleprompter, and Judy will be reading those scripts as we go through the newscast. Something that's a little bit of magic, I guess you could say, is that I'm always holding one of these. It's a weather clicker. It's basically like a glorified remote control. What happens is every time I push this button, the green one, it advances to the next scene in my show. So let's take a look and I'll show you kind of in action what it looks like. So here as I hit the button, you can see the map moves from one to the next map and the little showers popping up, and I click the button one more time and it moves to the next screen. I'll show you how it works real quick, and then I'll demonstrate why the color green is a big no-no for me to wear. All right, so here's an example of my show that I have, and each one of these little boxes, like number 88 is the day name planner with 77 degrees, 89, 98, 86. And each of these different graphics in my show are things that I've made in advance. So I use a lot of computers every day putting together these forecasts. Also, real quick, I want to show you kind of a quick process of what I do looking at computer models. A lot of people will ask me, so how do you know what the weather's going to do? There are computer models that run, there are probably half a dozen or more different computer models that run every single day. And basically I'll look for Austin and I'll track through all of these computer models, looking at the day and the time, and all of the green blobs are precipitation. And if it's clear, then that just means, hot and dry. And so I'll go through and I'll look and I'll see if there are any storms approaching. And then I can also look at other different layers in the atmosphere to find out if it's going to be really hot. So here's one of those maps where if you see these bright reds and oranges, that's kind of heat building. So I always use a ton of different computer models to figure out what the forecast is going to be. And then as I'm putting everything together, I like to be someone who, I've got to jot my little notes and write down all the forecast information. I'll also print out every day computer models which come out from these same graphics. There's actually also numerical outlook where 70s for lows, 90s for highs, and then this is what this particular computer model says will be our forecast here in Austin. I take this with a grain of salt because I think that people and intuition play a big role into creating a forecast as well. So I'll use that, but then I'll create my own forecast day by day. And then we basically enter it in on this system, which is like a template, kind of like, as I told you, kind of a PowerPoint kind of system, where in order to put in my 7-day forecast, I just plug in numbers for each of the different days. And then I'll put those over onto our other computer, and that creates our graphic for the 7 days. So here you can see day 1 high, 98, day 1 low, 76, mostly clear day, you know, and summer beginning. Once I've finished putting in all those numbers, this is what ends up being what goes out to folks on the air. It's a lot prettier that way. Okay, so let's take a look and see what it looks like if I were to wear the color green. So one of the colors that I can never get away with wearing on the air is green, and here's why. As I put this on, look at these monitors over here. Anytime I wear the color green, I basically turn invisible, and you can see all the graphics through me. So green is a big no-no as far as on the air, so there you go. It's called keying out, where anything that's the color green will have these graphics that appear instead of you. So let me advance this so you can see some of the different. All right, so here we are. I could be a floating head talking about summer. One more time. Camp Mabry right now, 97 degrees. Look, my arm is pretty much invisible. The only things you can see are things that are not green. So if I were to wear head to toe green, all you would see would be my head, my hands, my little weather clicker, and the graphics. And there you go, the Round Rock Express forecast. So I always tell people the only time I can actually get away with wearing green is if it's Halloween and I'm doing it kind of as a prank. Okay, so you may be wondering what I'm wearing. Right now I've got a microphone on, and I also have, let me see if I can find it, an earpiece, which is how I can hear the time cues that I get from the control room. We also have these microphone packs. Here's weather microphone, IFB, which is this earpiece, and then I've got my microphone that I wear for the studio, and then the microphone that I'm wearing for taping this right now. And the beauty of television is that I can be standing over here and you have no idea that I've got all this on my leg the whole time. So I'm pointing and you can't even see it. And meanwhile, here we go, all this extra stuff. And what's cool is a lot of people will wonder what this is wrapped around my leg. It's actually a dog collar, believe it or not. Just something to stick on here so that I can attach all of the extra cords and everything. The reason that I wear it that way is because otherwise I'd have to put it on my waist, in which case every time I would turn around you'd see this big hump. So that's my secret to staying slim while on TV.
It is time now for weather, another hot one out there, and news that the drought's getting worse in parts of our area.
I know.
That is bad news. Here's Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Chikage Windler.
If only some rain would,
we need it.
We definitely do. Here we are. Temperatures are hot. Humidity is out there. Nothing but sunshine in the sky.
Summertime in Texas, pretty much.
Summertime, and it's just hours away from summer. We'll talk about that in just a second. For now, X-Vision radar. We had hoped that somewhere in our viewing area, mainly to the east, a pop-up shower or two would form, but unfortunately that has not been the case. You can see the closest they are north of the Houston area. We are dry and will remain that way. Here's the bad news. New drought monitor just out today. A week ago, we had taken the red out. Well, now the extreme drought is back for portions of Williamson County as well as Lee County and Bastrop County, and if we don't get more rain, it's just going to continue to deteriorate. Here on Future Track, you can see through the evening hours, dry as a bone, clear skies. Overnight tonight, just like last night, we're going to watch some clouds and fog develop as we head toward the morning hours. The fog clears out, the clouds move away, sunshine develops, and here by noon tomorrow, we are totally dry. Now, yet again, Future Track trying to say, hey, maybe a pop-up shower from San Marcos to Lockhart, east of Giddings. I think these chances are very slim, so do not count on it. I'm actually going for a dry forecast for your first day of summer. Outside right now at Camp Mabry, it's 96 degrees, winds out of the south at 6. Luckily, there's been a little bit of a breeze. High temperature today all the way up to 98 degrees. That's what it is currently out at the airport. It's 99 in Bastrop, 93 is your temperature in Marble Falls. If you're heading up to Round Rock for the Express game, first pitch at 7:05, 93 degrees. By 9 p.m. we're at 88, 11 o'clock, 84 degrees. And this is going to be a trend of warm, muggy nights and sweaty, sultry, summer-like afternoons. 76 for your overnight low here in town, maybe a couple of degrees cooler if you're out in the burbs. Tomorrow, back up to 98 degrees with those clouds clearing out pretty early in the day. Here are your forecast highs up toward Georgetown tomorrow, 97, Lockhart 96, Marble Falls tomorrow, 95 degrees, and LaGrange up to 98 degrees. Your UV index for tomorrow is extreme 11. That means less than 10 minutes to burn. By the way, for your Friday, summer begins at 12:04, just past midnight. We'll have the longest day of the year. Enjoy it while you can. 77 degrees at 8 a.m., 89 by noon, up to 98 degrees by 5 p.m., and down to about 86 by the time we reach right around 9 p.m. Here, if you want more weather updates, join me on Facebook as well as Twitter, Chikage, KEYE TV, and I'll have all the latest as we count the numbers of days with 90s and triple digits. Yes, for the first time so far this year, I'm forecasting 100 a week from today. Also, coming up at 6, we're going to be talking about the supermoon on Sunday morning. Judy?
Take.